moms be having all these standards and they baby daddy meets none of them.
Ask you what are you on here for, they're either because I actually seriously do want a girlfriend, which is like very never. Men have just turned dating apps into like an easier way to access convenient sex.
There are so many women that really do advocate for not going 50-50, right?
And I'm sorry, but I am not going to sleep with a man to accidentally get pregnant.
That we are entitled and that we are manipulative. Daughter was listening into the conversation. She heard the stupidity that the men were saying in there. You're stupid.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into it.
So I just seen a post that said single moms be having all these standards and they baby daddy meets none of them. Like, of course, he was the lesson. Now she knows what to look for in a man and what not to look for. She stood on business and she moved on.
Hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom.
Next subject.
Yes, and you know a lot of women don't realize is tons of women continue it over and over and over. And then guys say, all right, if you continue it over and over, you need to stay with that man. Men are not dumb, right? She's acting like men aren't talking logically to women. They are, right? But women keep this, tons of women that keep making that same mistake over and over and over. If a woman makes it one time, that's why how many baby daddies you have, that lowers your value, right? So if you have 2 to 3 kids by that baby daddy, it lowers your value. A guy may tolerate that one. A woman says that excuse, he may be okay with that, right? One kid may not be as bad. It does still hurt you because you still made that mistake with that guy. You didn't make it with me.
Recently deleted my Hinge and I don't think I'm ever going back. I've seen so many other women saying that they also deleted the app. Dating apps are no longer for dating. Men have just turned dating apps into like an easier way to access convenient sex.
Delusional.
In love, we are kind of meant to be found. We're not meant to be actively trying to find love. It's just supposed to be something you stumble into. I don't understand how men got onto dating apps and were like, oh yeah, this is not going to be for dating. I literally was talking to a guy for a month. I was seeing him almost every single week, got me a Valentine's Day gift, all this stuff. Woke up one day and was like, I cannot be in a romantic relationship. Why were you on Hinge? I literally matched with another guy and he's like, oh, what are you on here for? Usually when they ask you what are you on here for, they're either because I actually seriously do want a girlfriend, which is like very never, or because they're trying to see if you want to hook up. So I was like, you know what, let me give this guy like the benefit of the doubt. And I was like, oh, I'm on here trying to find my husband that I could run around the playground with at 2 a.m. being kiki. This guy goes, something similar. I'm also trying to find people to hang out with late at night. I said, hang out with late at night? What do you mean? He goes, what's wrong with that? I said, what the are you talking about? He's like, I'm trying to find people to hang out with late at night or early mornings. I said, baby, you're looking for a prostitute. That's what you're on this dating app for? A lot of the components of dating apps are just so superficial because I genuinely am such a surface level person on first match. You don't hit everything, all those points, I'm not gonna like you. So the men I've ever dated were from dating apps and they were the worst ones, but they were the most beautiful ones. But the guys that I met, like either through mutuals or in regular life, they weren't as attractive, but they were so much better. I feel like we get on dating apps because we feel this idea of like scarcity. So hard to find people. I was definitely like that too because I had this whole idea like, how am I ever gonna find someone? There was a time people dated before dating apps. I think if we all put our foot down and we get off the dating apps, men are gonna go back to talking to women in public.
Not gonna happen. No, not gonna happen.
Because they don't do it anymore because it's just so much easier to go on an app and swipe. I really feel like when you get out of the mindset of allowing men to like behave mediocrely with you, when you get out of that, you'll realize that it's almost impossible for someone to come with like the pressure right off a dating app because they've never had a conversation with you in person. They don't know who you are. How can I expect you to like want to plan an amazing date for me and the only thing you have to go off of is 4 prompts and some photos of me? When somebody meets you in person, there's more of that initial connection, so they're more likely to be a bit more emotionally involved with you. So this is your sign. Get off the apps, go find your man at Erewhon, the gym, something. Anyways, I'm going to Pilates so that I can get my body right and tight.
Who's gonna tell her? Like, do you know men have been rejected to Kingdom Come back in the days? to where men are done, and the dating apps happen because of the pandemic. And what the dating apps have done, it's never ending. What the dating apps have done, let me tell you what's happened, right? Most guys on dating apps, they get swiped on the wrong way. Very few guys get swiped on the correct way, right? So therefore, you have a very small amount of guys who are stubborn and spoiled, because most of you women have made them that way. Those certain amount of guys have all of the choices. So when a guy came to you and said, hey, we're looking for the same thing you're looking for, he's used to getting that. Why is that? Because all of the other guys, they said no. And for him, they said yes. So he's used to getting his way. What she has to understand is the environment that's been created with dating was by women, and actually it was for men, right? Women actually created this environment for the men, but it's for them as well because of the revolution that you've created. You're having it your way, and most guys are getting tired of it and they're leaving because the guys that are being swiped left on, who are not picked, or not even just not picked, the guys that are tired of the woman who are not traditional, said, peace, I'm done with you.
The problem to go 50-50. Like, do you understand everything as a...
The thing that I have realized about this topic is that there are so many women that really do advocate for not going 50-50, right? And for me, I definitely went through like I'm a feminist. I shouldn't have an issue going 50-50 phase, right? When I was younger. But recently I started to realize just how difficult it was accepting going 50-50 with men. And I have come to the realization that it is because even as a feminist, it is the only benefit women reap out of the patriarchy. A benefit we did not create the rules for. Y'all did. But it is still a benefit that women get from the patriarchy. So whenever men start advocating for like, well, what about equality? Pick up this check or whatever. When I hear that, it's like, you're literally trying to rid me of the only benefit I get out of the patriarchy. The only, like, think about it for a second. Is there any other benefit we get out of the patriarchy? No, that's literally it. Because everything else puts us at a disadvantage. Everything else it's like about, I forgot the word. It is about dominating women, right? So then when it comes to like going 50-50 and all that, I have come to the realization that a lot of women, we have come to that realization. We're like, you as a man wanting to rid me of the only benefit I get out of the patriarchy, that to me means that you are not an ally. Because even when you think about it from like farther away, women spend more money on things than men, because the same item marketed for women, it is 5 times more expensive than that same item marketed towards men. So it's like, if you care so much about financial equality, why don't you strike the pay gap?
What is the difference between a feminist and a knife?
What sort of a comparison is that? I don't understand.
Should I tell the answer?
Yeah.
At least a knife has a point.
It's like all of a sudden you care so much about equality, but when it comes to like real women's issues to advocate for, in order for there to be equality, men are silent. But when it comes to like going 50-50 on dates, all of a sudden, they're feminists. So with that said, it's like whenever I hear men want to go 50-50, I just realize how historically men have always had the advantage over women in all senses of the word. So then when I hear men trying to like be like, oh, 50-50, equality, what about equality? It's like, you know what? I am choosing to allow myself to want this thing solely because it benefits me. Because historically, men have done that. And you know what? I'm going to allow myself to enjoy this thing and want this thing and only accept this thing solely because it benefits me. And even that on its own has like somewhat of guilt attached, which I think has a lot more to do with how us as women, we have been told that we need to be self-sacrificial. We need to put others before ourselves. We cannot ask for too much. And you know what?
I cry all the time.
I am consciously choosing to shut up that part of my brain and only accept non-50-50 men.
She wants to have her cake and eat it too, right? Now, this is the thing women say. She said it's too expensive to market products to women because, the products are more. And it's very true. I've seen women, though, that are very controlled. For instance, I've seen women that say, you know what? I want to save money, so I haven't got my nails done for 2-3 months. I've done my own hair, right? I see women say it. So all I'm spending money on is the products, and I spend money on cheaper products, right? I've seen women that pull it off on a shoestring budget, and they still look gorgeous, right? I guess more women need to go to that, because nowadays, the way the market is, not even the market, the way the everything is, job market, with the way money is now, inflation, it's hard. I seen a woman today talking about, actually I'm gonna get to that video next, so I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, the woman was pretty much explaining why a man needs to make over 200,000. Crazy.
Since a lot of men are visual creatures, let me walk through what I just made. Why I won't sleep with a man who makes less than $200,000 a year. The average one-bedroom apartment in LA, this is where I live, is $2,800 a month, although my rent is significantly more than this. That means that you have to make 3 times the rent in order to qualify.
You can't make it up.
That's $8,400 a month before taxes and $800,000 a year. But hold on, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a lot of money. Just wait. Men want to do this thing where they want to take your pants off, and that's fine because I want to take my pants off too, but hold on. If we have a little baby, the average 2-bedroom in Los Angeles is $3,800. That means that you now have to make $11,400 a month, which brings you to $136,800 a year. I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, that's so much money, but wait. You're not really coming home with that $136,800 because you have roughly 30% in taxes, and this is a conservative estimate, okay? Meaning that $41,040 of that is going to be taken, so your new bring home is going to be $95,760 a year. But hold on, if we divide that by 52 weeks, that means that you are going to bring home $1,841.54 weekly, or $7,366 monthly. I know what you're thinking. That's amazing. However, you have benefits. Do you know how much benefits are for a family of 3 on a silver PPO plan? Because be so for real, I am not giving birth in a county hospital.
I will not look for you. I will not pursue you.
Okay. Also, let's just pay a higher premium now, unless you want to get a bill for $100,000 at the end of the birth. Okay. So now we're back to this $7,366, and 16 cents a month. But let's estimate that we are doing $700 biweekly on a family of 3 medical, dental, vision benefit plan. That would be a new $5,900 take home. But wait, we still have to pay rent. $5,900 minus $3,800 for that average 2-bedroom, because where's our baby going to sleep? In the living room? Be for real. That means that we have left over $2,100 for the month, but we still have cars, insurance, utilities, food, clothes, the dogs need to eat, veterinary expenses that we wouldn't have expected, baby things, etc. Sir, we are now in the negative. And I'm sorry, but I am not going to sleep with a man to accidentally get pregnant when we are going to be living check to check because you physically cannot afford it. Are we blind? And I know what you're going to say. You should get a job. You should be working. The average cost of childcare in the state of California is $16,866 per year for ages 0 to 2, or $11,999 for ages 3 to 5. I am not going to go and get yelled at by a boss and be stressed out and wake up and spend 4 hours a day commuting, 2 hours there, 2 hours back. This is LA. We have traffic, just to go and pay that much money in childcare when I could be home with the child. And before you say, oh my God, like you just want to leech off of a man, you're a bum. Babe, this is me in my 2-story apartment here in LA that I pay for by myself. So if I could already make all of this go round alone, why would I want to complicate my life and add you to it? Okay, girl math.
You see what she just did, right? She just showed how she's wasting money. Let me explain. Now, she broke down all of those numbers, right? How about downgrading? How about some compromise? Somewhat. Oh, you know what she's going to say? I would never downgrade my life. This is the problem. This is why guys have given up. That makes my point exactly. Before I moved to the Philippines, I was living in upstate New York. I was smart. This is how I thought about it, right? I was 3 hours away from the city. I could easily drive a car or jump on a bus and take a 3-hour ride into the city, still go around, enjoy things in the city, and go back home to upstate New York. Me doing that, living in the city, rents were, you guys already know, astronomical. New York is kind of like LA. But being in upstate New York, I was paying $500 for a 2.5 bedroom apartment in upstate New York. Yes, 2.5 bedroom, very big, spacious apartment. I had $500 before I moved to the Philippines. And then after that, I moved out from that one and moved into a 1 bedroom, which was about what, $350? Yes. Rents like the Philippines I was paying. Of course, it's more now. You know, I'm sure it rose, but I'm still. Do you think she'll be willing to do that? Probably, most likely not. When that's really the wise thing to do, right? So instead of us paying all this extra money, how about we cut corners here, cut corners there, cut corners here, cut corners there, and you can stay home. You can be a stay-at-home mom, and then you offer more than that. Is, oh no, I'm not going up there. I bet you she would say that. I'm living in an apartment by myself. What are you bringing? How about a guy's bringing that? A guy's bringing compromise. No, I wouldn't dare. That's the problem.
You guys be thinking that this TikTok world is very toxic.
Oh, absolutely.
It is. It is. But I am gathering that you have not ventured into the VR world, because I did that. I've been having my VR for more than 2 years. And literally, I just started using it like not even a month ago. And I'm still not avid. I do it once in a blue moon. And yesterday, I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. I couldn't go to sleep. So I decided to go to one of those VR chat rooms. And I picked the one with relationship because I'm thinking, hey, I kind of do that. That's kind of like what I do a lot of times. So I like hearing what other people's thoughts are. So the conversation was going great. People were talking about things that were really important to them. And then it wasn't. Because somebody brought up the subject of passport bros.
Oh, here we go again.
And the level of misogyny. They didn't even recognize that they're being misogynist. They said women. They literally said women, trying to think the right words, that we are entitled and that we are manipulative. We are immoral.
He ain't lying.
And the people that are having the conversation, like, they really justify the way they thought. One man said he wanted a traditional female, one that cooked and cleaned and was very feminine. You know, I lost my mind in there. And the worst part is that my daughter was listening into the conversation and she started like, Mom, tell him this, tell him this. Like, she was getting heated. Not even being in the VR chat, but because she heard the stupidity that the men were saying in there. You're stupid. And anyway, so I'm like, you know what? You want a very feminine woman, and you say you want to take care of her, but you still want her to pay half the rent and then take care of the kids and actually make you food as well. I don't understand why you can't do shared parenting duty. One guy said, it's not right for a guy to stay home with the kids. That's not his job. And even if it is his job to take care of the kids, you notice how they don't complain. Really? Like, how many men do you know that actually stay at home? The conversation was so damn crazy that I started calling them out on everything. In fact, some of them left the room because they just couldn't handle it. And then it got even worse when the moderator got involved, in which, you know, she was like definitely a crazy liberal and just basically told them about themselves.
I'm crazy, I swear I don't love the drama. It loves me.
But that room has so much level of toxicity. Look at you. That I have never seen some crap like that. Not even on TikTok. You have no idea. Don't go there. For real. Don't go there.
Guys, you see the problem? Did you hear anything wrong with what she said? Was that toxic in any way? Men were talking to other men, saying the problem wrong with the states right now. I was waiting for her to say, and she put Andrew Rate. I guess she didn't want to say Tate. And he has nothing to do with it, but still, he's a passport bro, but I don't want to get into that. But still, she said, you know, the toxicity. I didn't see anything toxic. I didn't see nobody calling anyone, oh, I see it was like, you bitch, these bitch. She didn't say nothing like that. Everything she said was smooth and calm. Same things you hear me saying in my videos all the time, right? She got mad. And that's what it is. They get mad. The women are getting mad because they don't intend to change. I'm going to name the video of that. These ladies are mad at the passport bros because they don't intend to change at all. That's facts. Look at it, guys. She's old, too. And what is she doing? Who told her her young daughter. You tell her, Mom, she's teaching her daughter the wrong way. She wouldn't dare teach her daughter how to cook clean, right? This is what's happening now. There's no hope. Guys are wondering, is there hope for the future in America? There's no hope. Look at this woman. She got to be what, 50s, 60s max? And the youth, probably around my age, maybe a little bit younger, didn't learn, not learning, doesn't care about taking care of a man, would never care, right? What's happening in the West is bad, and guys are looking for a way out because they realize
This is the way.
Passport, bro. Passport. No. It's not changing. There's definitely more to life than that.